Hello guys, my name is Mathur and welcome to my channel. This is the 49th tutorial in the series of tutorials on Unix shell scripting. In this tutorial, we're going to check out another application of the exec command, and we're going to change the input stream to a file again, and we're going to build a script that counts the number of sentences and also the number of words in a text file. Now I know it's possible to do these things with the help of the wc command, but this shell script might actually be fun to make. So I have my text editor here, and I've saved this file in the home folder. It has the name count and the extension sh. And what I'm going to do first in this script is I'm going to ask the user to enter a file name, and echo is going to be the command that I'll use to display the message. So enter a file name, right? And I'll put the /c sequence at the end, and then I'll use read to store the input in the variable fname. Right now I want to save my current terminal settings, so I'll use the variable terminal to hold them, and obviously tdy is going to be the command that's going to give me my current terminal settings, and since it's a command I'll have to put it in reverse quotes because we are interested in the output. And once we've done that, we can change the stream to the file, and I do that by typing in exec space the lesson symbol and space $fname, because fname is the variable that contains my file name. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize two variables, NOL, which will eventually return to me the number of lines in the file, and NOW, which is going to return to me the number of words. And I'm going to give both these variables starting values of 0. And now on line 11, I'm going to write in my while statement because I want to iterate over the sentences in the file. So I'll obviously have to use a looping construct. And as we did in the last tutorial, we're going to use read statement because we want to fetch these statements out of the text file. So read is going to help us do that. And then I'm going to type in my control variable for the loop, which is going to be line. You can call it anything, but I like to call it line. On line 12, I'll type in the keyword do because I want to get inside the while block now. And what while does for me is it iterates over all the sentences in the text file. So if you want to know the number of lines, then basically you have to count the number of iterations. That is, you have to count the number of times the while body gets executed. And it's actually pretty simple to determine the number of lines because I'll just type in NOL and then I'll increment it by 1. So in the first iteration, NOL has the value 0, but at the end of the first iteration it will have the value 1, and at the end of the second iteration it will have the value 2, and at the end of the third iteration it will have the value 3. So if there are 10 lines in the file, then there are going to be 10 while loop iterations, and NOL will be incremented each time, and thus at the end of the while loop's execution, NOL will tell us the number of lines in the file, right? So in order to increment NOL, I'll use expr $NOL plus 1, and since this is a mathematical expression, I have to put the expression within reverse quotes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the set command to set my positional parameters with the words that are in the statement over which we are iterating, right? So that I'm going to do by typing set space $line. And remember, in the first iteration, line will have the first sentence in the file. So set will set the positional parameters with the words that are there in the first sentence. And in the second iteration, set will set the positional parameters with the words that are there in the second sentence. And this will happen for as long as there are sentences in the text file, right? And once our positional parameters have been set, we can easily determine their number by using the value of the system variable $hash, right? So to count the number of words, I'll type in NOW is equal to, I'll use expr to increment the value. We're not going to increment the value by 1, but we are going to increment the value by the number of positional parameters that have been set by the previous statement, that is set space $line. So $hash, that's going to go there. And since again we are interested in the output of this thing, I'm going to put this expression within reverse quotation mark. And after this, we are done with our while block. So I can type in my keyword done to move out of the while block. And now we can echo out both the number of lines as well as the number of words on screen. So number of lines $NOL, and on the next line I'll use echo to display the number of words colon $NOW. Alright, and now we can change our input stream back to the keyboard. That I'm going to do by typing in EXEC space less than symbol space $terminal, because terminal here holds my older terminal settings, right? So I'll save the script file and I'll bring up my terminal and I'll execute this file by typing in sh space count.sh, and when I press the enter key, the shell asks me to enter a file name, and text is a file that I know that's there in my home folder and has 4 sentences. I don't know how many words it has, but it has 4 sentences. And when I press the enter key, it tells me that there are 4 lines in my file, and it also tells me that there are 37 words. This I thought would be fun because we've been learning plenty of new concepts over the past few tutorials and we haven't been really doing any meaningful work. So I thought maybe for a change we should build a script that does something that can actually be done by using a utility that is already known to us. And I'm talking about WC here. You can easily count the number of lines in a text file by passing it as an argument to WC with the option -L, and you can count the number of words by passing the file name as an argument to WC with the option -W. So, those things can be done with WC, but this is what makes people good programmers. They should know how to do simple things in more than one ways, and that's why I took this example. And I hope you guys had fun watching this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll discuss something interesting again. Thank you so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one, and please subscribe to my channel.